everyone, and welcome to this gloriously grey Monday. My name is Jules Gill, and this is Ash Millman. Together we are the Millman and the Gilman together, and we are doing some main news today.
Oh.
What better way to kickstart your week than by listening to these two absolute chodes talk about stuff that's going on in
Hey, speak for
cinema.
yourself. If anything, I'm a schlong.
Let's hit that jingle.
Here's the news delivered in a flash. Time for Jules and time for Ash.
Oh, we are back in the room, and today we are talking about Anakin Skywalker potentially returning for a new Star Wars film.
Ooh.
An impossible, and I do mean impossible, It Chapter 3 being considered. The Joker winning glorious awards in Venice. And finally, Sam Neill's thoughts on Jurassic World 3.
Yes.
Where would you like to start in this cavalcade of news?
I tell you what sounds interesting to me is a bit of Anakin Skywalker.
Agreed. Let's talk about the chosen one, that is Anakin.
The Chosen one.
Hey,
it's a
there
throwback
he is,
to that
there
little
he
joke.
is. So with Rise of the Rise of Skywalker on the horizon, people have been going into meltdown thinking about what theories
Yes.
and possible, like who's going to be in it. Obviously, we've heard Emperor Palpatine speak, and obviously,
Oh God, yeah, it's very
been,
spooky.
He's been dead for a long time, sort of thing. So is he coming back in this? Well, there's even more fuel to the fire now because Hayden Christensen has been appearing in public with Ian McDiarmid like again and again, going to like different charity events and stuff
What?
with him. And it's completely weird because obviously he played young Anakin in
Yeah.
the prequels, and then you've got Ian, who's obviously playing Palpatine together. Like, why are they doing PR stuff
pals.
together? Well, it's led people to speculate that maybe what we're going to be seeing is Hayden Christensen back in Star Wars, baby.
I don't hate the prequels. I don't. Hayden Christensen, look, he's got his issues. He's got his issues. He's got them. But
Why don't we list them?
you know, maybe not a bad. Maybe he's learned and growed.
Learned and grown.
Maybe he's learned and growed since then.
This is the thing, like, he's not a terrible actor. He was admittedly given some pretty bad scripts from George Lucas. And like, I'm just joking. I don't actually hate him. I think he's actually quite passable in some places.
Yeah.
It's just that whole thing with him riding that weird creature and then floating the CGI pear over in the second one. That was just awful. Anyway.
Bit of banter. You know what?
But you know what? This could also be a bit of a banter move because there's no like official confirmation that he is going to be in Rise of Skywalker. But we have obviously we know that Palpatine is going to be back in some form. Therefore, the bridge of death could be crossed also by Anakin.
Why not, eh?
I mean,
why not?
It could lead us to something utterly ridiculous.
Well, he's like he's a Force ghost at the moment, isn't he?
But that's the thing. Could you imagine Palpatine and him having a Force ghost fight?
Oh no, I'd be very down for that.
Is
Yeah.
good. But then again, like J.J. Abrams, he's really good at doing these sort of. I say really good. He's bad at them. He loves his misdirections.
Whoa.
No. He loves misdirections because what he did was obviously when he was doing Star Trek. Was it Beyond Darkness?
Oh god, when he's like, it's not Khan.
Yeah, Benedict Cumberbatch, he's not Khan. He's not Khan. It's like it totally is Khan. And it's like so it could just be this thing of just like, oh, Anakin's definitely in it.
Whoa.
Psych, he's not.
Or it could be like, oh no, he's definitely not in it, but they was just sending him around with Palpatine for some press doings.
I mean, the thing is as well, if you are the chosen one of prophecy,
I know.
Your duty doesn't stop at death.
Yeah,
So if the big badnik comes back, you've got to come back and stop him.
That's true.
So we could see him back. But I'd love to see a Force ghost version of Anakin dumping Palpatine down the trash chute like he did in the. That'd be just great. I'd enjoy that a lot. But yeah, it's coming out on it's coming out on December the 19th. So we'll just have to wait until then.
Little Christmas tree.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I don't want him in it. That's my closing argument there. I don't want him in it.
I don't think he needs to be in it.
No.
But I'm not going to be mad if he. At this point, I feel like Star Wars is just a big banter off, so I'm just ready to accept whatever it throws out. Like
Last Jedi, man. There was so much to sort of
let's
like
move on.
just toss it
Let's
up.
move on.
Anyway, yeah, cool,
Whoa.
right. Move on. Speaking about that.
Ooh, speaking about clowns.
Hey.
So, oh my
that
God,
noise?
Jesus. Yeah, I'm really sorry about that. We're going to talk about It Chapter 3.
Doesn't exist.
Doesn't exist, but potentially could do, which we were actually talking about the other day. We were going, oh yeah, It Chapter 1, It Chapter 2, really good films. They're never going to do a third one because there's no way they can make a story about that. No way! That would be crap. It'd be a terrible idea for them to do that. And what do I get served up hot and fresh on Monday morning? It Chapter 3.
But the funny thing is that you saying that is like almost the summoning ritual for Stephen King.
Yeah,
He's
literally.
He's like, crap idea, writing a book, adding more into a convoluted storyline, sign me up!
Woo.
He even appeared in It Chapter 2 as the cameo, and it was brilliant.
Such a good cameo. It Chapter 2 is fantastic, by the way. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it. No spoilers or anything, but just go and watch it.
It's big dumb fun.
Oh, it's such good. Go.
And visually, it's spectacular.
Yeah,
Like,
it is.
I loved it.
Ooh, we could gush about it all day, but let's give you some news instead. So basically, there's an interview with EW. Bill Skarsgård is the one that's brought Bill Skarsgård is the one that has brought this up, is what I meant to produce from my mouth then. And it's not basically that It Chapter 3 has been confirmed or anything like that. It's just him musing that it would be maybe a nice idea for him, and he would be up for playing Pennywise again. So I've got a big old quote here. So before you start shaking,
Let's go.
let's start making.
I'm quivering. I'm quivering.
It would have to be the right type of approach to it. The book ends where the second movie ends, so that is the final chapter of this story. There is this interesting aspect to going back in time before this all happened. There might be a story there that might be worth exploring. Obviously, that would be the story that's not in the book, so...
In the book?
Something's wrong with my mouth this morning. Obviously, that would be a story that's not in the book. It would be a freestanding story, but obviously within the same universe. So there might be something interesting out of it. I think it would be fun. Bill Skarsgård, no.
Well, this is the thing. I'm actually going to play devil's advocate and say that potentially it could be a good thing. I've completely flip-turned it just because I like being contrarian, to be fair. So what I'm thinking is that you do set it as a prequel, but you just call it Derry, and it's basically just about the meteor hitting and corrupting this man's life and infecting him and turning him from clown into psycho spider clown.
No.
Okay, cool. Well, at
That's
least
not what it is.
At least
it is not a turning...
At least I pitched it.
It is not a Spyco Spider Clown, it's an interdimensional horror. It's from outer space.
But it landed.
Yeah, it didn't land on a clown and turn him into a...
Imagine if it did. One clown, and he's just like walking along, and he's like, what's that in the sky? And then it goes, boom, and just obliterates
See, that's what
him.
will happen if they make It Chapter 3. No, they can't do it. They can't.
No, of course
they
not.
can't.
It's silly.
It'd be a terrible idea.
But of course Skarsgård wants to play Pennywise because
Yeah.
he's fantastic
He's
at
so
it.
good.
And I feel like for him, this has been the role of a lifetime. He's not going to get a chance to ham it up as much as this and anything else.
Well, he did do Acid Spit Boy in Deadpool,
Oh, he did. Oh, he did.
which was good, but he didn't have opportunity to ham.
No.
But yeah, no, I think he's fantastic. I think Pennywise is fantastic. I'd be very up for seeing more Stephen King stuff, but just I think this is done. I feel like leave it alone. There's so many other short stories and other concepts that he's done that would be fantastic. And Pennywise doesn't just appear in it, like
No, he
he
doesn't.
creeps up around. So you know what? If Bill Skarsgård,
There's also a direct, thanks to it too, a now very definitive link between it and The Shining.
Yes.
Because when he smashes through the door, he says, "Here's Johnny."
Yeah.
Like, and you wouldn't, that is such a throwaway line, but the fact that it now intrinsically links them to,
Yeah.
I'd like to see more of that.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Dr. Sleep, eh? Dr. Sleep.
Oh,
eh?
this is the
See,
other
that's-
thing.
that's right.
Don't- yeah, he's willing to go back and write novels 40 years, 30 years after the original is released. So we know that Stephen King would probably be up for writing another. If Stephen King wrote the source material, I'd be a lot more up for it. But if they're making an original story from filmmakers' minds, not that I don't trust Andy Muschietti because he's a good man and he does good things. I really like Mama as well. Like all of his stuff is impressive. But just don't.
It's a franchise that's very close to your heart, isn't it? So it's just like, don't mess with it too much.
It's just Stephen King. I just love him. I just love it. I want to hold his face and say, please behave.
What we
Please
need
don't
to-
let them do this.
What we need to do is get in touch with Stephen King personally because we're very close friends.
we are.
And just tell him to not tell the story of the prequel, but instead tell the story of the giant wooden axe holding
Yeah.
man who comes alive.
Don't give him all of the juice. Don't give him all the juice. Leave a little bit for the viewers.
I've just squeezed a little bit right on my lips.
Ooh, little taster.
Anyway,
Big axe man.
Speaking of massive prizes, I don't know where I got that from, but let's just talk about the Joker winning the Golden Lion at Venice. I don't have
yes.
a segue. I don't need a segue because sometimes they don't need it. In fact, I'm going to tell you a joke. How do you stop a lion from charging?
You punch it on the nose.
Classic. Nope, you
Like
take
a
away
shark.
you take away its credit card. And speaking of how I made jokes and jokes about lions, let's talk about the Golden Lion at Venice. That's how the segue should have gone, to be fair. So now Joker has, this is brilliant, isn't it? See, Joker has won one of the top prizes at the Venice International Film Festival, and it is a fantastic get for this film because not only does it mean that Joaquin Phoenix, who unfortunately didn't win the Best Actor at this awards ceremony,
Who won that?
it was an Italian guy for I can't remember what the film was, but yeah, he unfortunately was
Just to test
no,
you
no,
instantly.
I know you cheeky little one. He was pipped to the post, but director Todd Phillips accepted the award, and Phoenix was on stage with him. It was, and he said this, I want to thank Warner Brothers and DC for stepping out of their comfort zone and taking such a bold swing on me and this movie. And because Joaquin Phoenix didn't win the Best Actor, he also made sure to highlight how much effort he put in by saying, thank you for trusting me with your insane talents,
Oh, okay.
Phoenix as well. Like, it is a really good thing, not only for this film in general, but it's great for its future prospects as well, because this is going to put it into direct running for Oscars further down the line. And the people who won this previously, this award, the Golden Lion, have been like Roma, and Shape of Water as well. So they've gone on to like massive critical acclaim. So it could well be the best superhero film or supervillain film, if you want to class it as that, we've ever seen.
That's a high bar now as well. That's a lofty height. So
because the Nolan films did exceptional work with getting like the superhero films to be taken seriously, I would say. And so for Joker to take that and do it in an artistic way that's pleasing the critics as well. Honestly, I'm just so excited. When is it dropping again? Is it
4th of October?
Oh man.
So not long.
We need to go and see that, like midnight release. We need to see that.
We do. But talking of midnight releases.
We're talking about your dad and mum again.
That's disgusting. There'll be probably a midnight release for a film coming out in 2021.
Awful segue, but go for it.
Which is Jurassic World 3. So it's still almost 2 years away. It's going to be filming in 2020. So that means the rumour mill is a-churning, the wheels are a-turning, and there's things that people want to see which they're hoping will happen, which is the original cast of Jurassic World appearing in Jurassic World 3.
That would be very nice, actually.
It'd be a lovely little touch, it'd be a lovely little homage. So we've had like Jeff Goldblum turn up in the previous ones, that sort of thing. So people are looking at Sam Neill now. And Sam Neill was at Venice International Film Festival with Bryce Dallas Howard. Bryce, I want to get all of her names the right way. Bryce Dallas Howard. So we're at Toronto International Film Festival together for IMDb, doing a little interview. Okay. And Howard was on before. And they said to her, like, how do you feel about Sam Neill being in Jurassic World 3? And she was basically like, oh, I've never met him. So there we go.
How could you not? If you're in Hollywood, you're a no one if you've not met Sam Neill.
Apparently she drove past his house in New Zealand once and
looked
into it like, hey, Neil. But yeah, so she hasn't met him, so it hasn't happened yet. And then they said, oh, maybe you'll meet him on the set. And she went, ooh. And that's the news.
See, I would love it if he appeared on that, because like he at once offers a lot of credibility to any film that he's in, but also a massive banter aspect. What's the film called where he opens a portal to hell and he like has his eyes gouged out? It's brilliant. It's so
I can't remember.
bad.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember the name.
God damn, that's annoying.
Let us know in the comments if you can figure out eye gougy Sam Neill.
Oh, it's so good. So if you can bring anything like that to Jurassic World, I'd love it to just him gouging out the eyes of a T-Rex.
Yeah, well, when they asked him about it in the next interview, they said, Sam Neill, hello, we've just spoke to Bryce Dallas Howard, and she said this. What do you say? And he said, oh, what did she say? They went, oh, she's climbing up. And he went, I'm climbing up too. So there you go, there's another little thing. He didn't say yes or no.
Pair of clams together.
Clam. And then they asked Colin Trevorrow as well, because everyone was being asked about this. And he said, it's a celebration of everything that has existed in the franchise up until now about Jurassic World 3. I can confirm nothing. But nothing would make me happier than to be able to work with any of those people, which is the original cast.
So it's kind of like it's a possibility, but nothing set in stone. When do we know? It's like 2 years away, isn't it?
Yes, literally. It doesn't start filming till 2020.
Oh, in that case, then they have so much time. And to be fair, the critical response of having those sort of actors from the first couple of films in there would be a really good selling point.
Exactly.
Because I'm not going to lie, the second one, Fallen Kingdom, didn't do it for me. Did not do it for me in the slightest.
Oh, it messed around a lot. It messed around.
We had clone kids, we had all of this thing. So if this is going to turn out to be a Resident Evil prequel story, I feel like that's how it feels. It feels
could be at this point, it actually could be.
It feels like the next film's just going to start up with like, we have taken over the island. And it's a load of like genetically like cloned children with like AKs walking around.
Yeah,
like,
it's going to be dino people.
And they're riding the dinosaurs in like, ah! And then Sam Neill's like, stop! And all their eyes just explode out. That's
you know what?
Event Horizon.
Can you
Event Horizon.
Oh my God, yeah, right, that you're thinking of when he's with the...
Boom!
Yeah, Jesus Christ. But yeah, Laura Dern also, just to throw her in there, for Dr. Ellie Sattler has said she could never say no. So there we go.
Oh, bless her.
She's up for it as well.
She's really nice as well.
Yeah, she's lovely. So hopefully we'll see him.
And speaking of two nice people, you can go follow Ash and I at RetroJ with 0 over on Twitter for myself, and...
at Ash Millman.
Indeed. It always gets me when you just deliver it like you're a Muppet. At Ash Millman. Thank you so much for joining us on this rambling news odyssey, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.